Yeah. Lord, tell me what you want me to say. I mean, I'm asking questions, but the people that I'm asking, they don't have the perception.
Let's go, let's grow, let's get it.
I can tell young people it's possible. We go to the next slide. Dads matter. All right, man is the center of the problem. He's like, hold on now, dude. Wait a minute. Pastor Breck, I think I put my clean shirt on. I think I got underwear on today. I did not come here on Father's Day to hear this guy tell me that I'm the problem. What kind of Father's Day is that? Man is the center of the problem. I'm not talking about mankind. Like the Bible says, mankind, he's talking about man and woman, male and female. I'm talking about man, he, him, man. He's the center of the problem, right? First service, a woman clapped on that. She was like, yeah! I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute, that's not where we're going. Man is the center of the problem, but man is also center of the solution, okay? Man, he's the center of the problem, but he's also the center of the solution. So here's the problem with a lot of men. We want the glory, but we don't want the responsibility. I want to be man. Call me man. Big piece of chicken. Give it to me. Respect me. Don't talk back to me. I'm him. Do what I'm supposed to say. I'm the man. We want the glory, but we don't want to take the responsibility. So I said, Jolie, if you want to be the man, then be the man. If you want to be the man, be the man. Put things in the earth, and he put things in the earth that would produce themselves, but he had not caused it to rain yet because he didn't have a man in the ground. What does that mean? That means he didn't have a man who was going to manage what was going to come out of the ground. God doesn't create things out of order. So he said, since I don't have a man in the place that will manage what's going to come out of the ground, I cannot cause it to rain to cause things to produce out of the ground yet. You know the difference between a garden and a land that's just full of weeds? Management. You got a garden, and it's beautiful. I have these roses, or I have these fruits, these vegetables. You have all these things because somebody's there managing them. You have a field that's just going wild. That's because nobody is there managing that field. There's no management. There's no man there to manage what's going on. You know what's wrong with a lot of children who are acting crazy? Management. Frederick Douglass said this: it's easier to build strong children than it is to rebuild a broken man. It's easier to build strong children than it is to rebuild a broken man. So you need a man in place to manage things and to build children up. Sometimes people have children that are 13, 14, 15 saying, I can't control him, because you didn't control him when he was 2. Mismanagement. You're trying to catch up now what you should have did when he was younger. You have to have somebody in place to manage what's going on. My cousin said this to me, man, it stood out. I'm going to help some of you people who may not have your fathers in your life. Now, I'm not talking about those of you who may have had your father, he may have passed away, he's not here any longer. I'm talking about somebody who he just was never there. He didn't show up. Never knew him, or I knew him, but he never came around. My cousin, he called me, he said, guess what? I figured out something. I said, what'd you figure out? He said, my father wasn't man enough to father me. I said, whoa, what do you mean? God started dealing with me on that. He said, my father wasn't man enough to be there to be able to manage what I was supposed to become. And since he wasn't going to be able to manage the great thing that I am today, God didn't want him in my life to mismanage me. So I know it hurts, and I'm not just saying get over it. I'm not just saying, oh, it should be easy. But I'm telling you that God didn't have him there in your life because he didn't want you to be mismanaged, but that does not mean you don't need a father. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it confused because he wasn't there. The sidebar. Some people just can't manage things. Some people, it's not necessarily good or bad. Some people will see Pastor Breck and what he's doing all here, and they'll say, I can't do what you do. I don't see how you do this. What they're saying is, I can't manage this. All right? At the same time, sidebar on the sidebar. You like that, didn't you? You ever seen somebody do a double sidebar? Let's go. Let's grow. Let's get it. All right, sidebar on the sidebar. Pray for a pastor. Because if somebody wants to mess up an organization, they don't have to spend time messing with the thousands who are in the organization. They can just spend their time trying to take out who's over the organization. I know, Carlos. Keep talking. You talking good. Los, I know. Right? So what you need to pray for him for is because the enemy will try to come against him, and he will experience some attacks that you would never be able to imagine. Because if you could take away a leader, you can scatter the sheep. My friends say to me that you dream too high, but what they're really saying is, I'm afraid of heights. The sidebar. A lot of friends, they say to me, you dream too high. But what they're really saying is, I'm afraid of heights. I can't manage what you manage. I can't go where you go. I got news for you young people. Hear me, and hear me well. If you have friends and you're on a different level than they're on, they feel uncomfortable when you're around. You're 13, 18, 12, you're 21. Hear me right now. If you don't hear nothing else I say, you can get back to your phone and text Facebook, Twitter, and chat after this. But listen to this. If you're on a different level that they're not on and they feel uncomfortable, they can do one of two things. The one they will not do. Most of them will not come up to your level to feel comfortable. So what they'll do is they'll try to pull you down to their level. So that's why people sometimes don't get along with you. Oh, she thinks he cute. I know I'm cute. You just think I'm cute. And you trying to pull me down. There's no think around here. I know it. As soon as I get away from you, I can get around some other people who think the same way. That's how, you ever hear saying misery loves company? So go be around some miserable people. Get away from me. All right?